Okay, so here is a mini lesson on why we do a minimum of 3 trials when we're determining values. Okay, so this is found at the bottom of your variable identification activity that we did in class. And if you go to the back of the page, you'll notice this kind of mini lesson. And so we're going to work through an example, but really when we're determining measured values, we want to do a minimum of 3 trials. And we're going to talk about why as we progress through this example. So here we have Lisa. She wants to determine the boiling point of alcohol, and she's collecting some data. Okay, so the first trial that she does, you'll notice she gets a value of 69.2 degrees. And this may be accurate, but there's nothing else to compare this to. And so we don't know whether it's accurate or not, so we do a second trial. And when Lisa completes her second trial, you'll notice that this value is very different from the first. So these two trials are quite different. And specifically what that difference is, well, we had 79 degrees, and the first one was 69.2 degrees, which gives us a difference of 9.8 degrees Celsius, which is quite significant when we're talking about, 80, 70, 80 degrees. A difference of almost 10 degrees between two trials is very significant. So probably either trial 1 or trial 2 is correct, but we're not sure which one. So we do a third trial, you'll see here. And of course we get a boiling point of 80 degrees Celsius. So now we can conclude that trial 2 and trial 3 are quite similar. So the difference between these two is 80.0 minus 79.0, and that's equal to 1 degree Celsius, which is much better than 9.8 degrees Celsius. So trial 1 is probably inaccurate, which we would say is then a wrong value. And the true value is probably close to 80 degrees Celsius. So the last step in this process is to do a fourth trial. And we're doing this to ensure consistency. We did pretty well with trial 2 and trial 3, and now we just really want to hammer this home to prove to ourselves that the true value is around 80 degrees Celsius. And we would expect our fourth trial to be close to 80 degrees. That's what we would expect. And of course, we do our fourth trial, as you can see here, and we get a value of 81 degrees. And this is consistent with 2 of our other 3 trials, and therefore this is probably a very good, or in other words, a very accurate value. So here we have 3 different measured values. We have 4, but 3 of them are consistent. And so if we wanted to say the best measured value for the boiling point of alcohol, what we're going to do is we're going to take the average of at least 3 consistent values. Now, when we talk about 3 consistent values, this is important because we've done 4 trials, but we said that this trial 1 was inconsistent. It was different. It was inaccurate. It's probably wrong. So we don't want to include that value in our average because that's going to throw our average off. We want to include these 3 consistent values in our average. And so the way that we do that is, as you know, 80 degrees Celsius plus the first one 79 degrees Celsius plus the third one 81 degrees Celsius. And because we had 3 values, we divide by 3 and we get a final answer. of 80 degrees Celsius. And that would be a very, very good and very accurate measured value for the boiling point.